because of Biafra, so that they may humiliate me to such a point that I will not talk about Biafra anymore. They videoed me. Masop has a video of me where they were beating me, dragging me on the floor, tearing my clothes because I spoke the truth. That did not stop me from talking about Biafra. It did not stop me from taking Radio Biafra to Enugu. It did not stop me from broadcasting Radio Biafra from Nnewi. It did not stop me from broadcasting Radio Biafra from Onitsha, from Owerri, from Aba, from Port Harcourt. I am resolute. I don't retreat. Never.
Good evening to you, good morning to you, good afternoon to you from wherever you are watching from. This is Maiyegun Live.
Lórí Facebook, lórí YouTube. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Maiyegun dá wa sí. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
How is the audio? Can you hear me?
Bó bá ṣe eré, àní Maiyegun máa wí. Ó sì tún ṣe eré, wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Yes, this is Maiyegun Live. If you have read the caption of the broadcast, yeah, I mean, read it as you are sharing the broadcast. Read it. Assimilate it. So that when I begin to talk about them, right, you and I will be in sync of what this pop-up, what this message is all about tonight. So share the broadcast. Tell everybody. Maiyegun today.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun today. Maiyegun today. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Maiyegun today. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Thank you.
Lórí Facebook. Maiyegun today. Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Lórí YouTube.
2 days ago, the news broke that gunmen, that's what they love to call them, gunmen, invaded the staff quarters of University of Abuja and they kidnapped 6 people, including 4 staff. Now they are making a demand of 50 million naira each on every one of them, making it a 300 million naira ransom demanded. Today, same thing happened again in Abuja. Well, outskirts of Abuja, because that's what they will say. When you meet the people in Abuja, they will tell you, no, it's outside Abuja. Well, they came back again and they kidnapped a school vice principal. That is in Abuja. In response, the Nigeria military, or let me say in response, the Boko Haram's government, they have drafted military to provide security for any terrorist invasion of Abuja. That is on high alert as we speak right now. Maybe your media in Nigeria is not really feeding you with that. I'll tell you more. Also tonight, like I said, if you take your time to read the caption, I want to talk about the Lagos collapsed building. You know, for everything that happens sometimes, there are always going to be snippets, maybe rumor, maybe not so rumor. And they say in every rumor, you know, most of the time, there is always some truth as well. So I want to tell you a few things I know, or few things I've heard, and at the same time, how that affects the state of collapsed or failed Nigeria. That is why I want to talk about it. Money laundering. That some of you probably never really, probably have an idea of how they steal your money and how they get that money out of Nigeria undetected. I'll try my best on that of the real estate and exactly what happened in Lagos, right? Also, I want to take a time to just touch on the fake life, the fake government, the unknown government that you have, which has given birth to unknown this, unknown that, unknown crime. So many crimes that are unknown to us are now happening to us by unknown criminals protected by the unknown government, Bukwari's government. A fraudulent pseudo-democratic government, they call themselves. Well, I call them fake. The country is broke like Pangolo, to the point that the Central Bank of Nigeria have to print money, right? In order to be able to fulfill the usual Bambiala, monthly Bambiala to all the states that goes to Abuja to collect money. That's how bad it is. They have blamed everyone. They have blamed everything. They've even blamed God, but themselves. They've never blamed themselves. So the same fraudulent Emefiole has brought out another idea, and they call it INERA. I'm also going to shed a bit of light on that because of their 2022 fraudulent budget, because they have no money. They don't have money. But guess what? They want to build 14-bed clinic, VIP clinic inside Aso Rock with 21 billion naira. They don't have the money. They have to borrow it. They don't have it. I'll tell you more on that today. And more. Anyway, let's get started. And also, by the way, you might think of every other thing they've told you about IPOB, and you might have swallowed many of them for your own reasons. What they asked for was that people should sit at home and never become the victims of this marauding terrorist in Nigerian army uniform. That's what they came to do, to kill, to steal, to destroy. Stay at home. Don't let them use you for their elections, blood counting. Well, Anambra State government has declared Friday public holiday. And they said all the filling stations should shut, by the way. Friday, Saturday, which is in 2 days' time. Saturday is the election. There is no movement. IPOB said they're going to stay at home. If you love yourself, please don't go and make yourself a victim. That once they kill you, they will not say they kill you because you resisted them from stealing your ballot boxes and all of that. Once they kill you, they will say you are IPOB member who came to come and destroy election. So it's up to you. It's by choice. Nobody is going to force you on that, right? But it seems that the state government is also probably making it illegal now. Like, listen, just if you don't have any business with our election, don't bother coming out because there will be nothing to do out there anyway. So, which means if anything happens during before, during, and after their Anambra election, you know people to hold. I'm going to touch on that too. But let's start from this attack in Abuja. And most importantly, these attacks are not really anything new, okay? But the response, the reaction of those who pledged to keep us safe towards these attacks, how they are channeling the resources that they don't even have, scarce resources they call it, channeling them to crush on civil rights activists, while terrorists walk straight into most of the places that they call fortified, sanctified areas. Well, they attacked the Defense Academy in Kaduna, and that is a place they call impenetrable, a place that nobody can try anything. They went there For hours, today, to this day, they have not presented to us that these are the people who carried that out. Nigeria is in a big mess. A big one that even those of you who actually claim to love Nigeria, you should, well, I don't know, maybe you are not yet, but I want to believe that most of you are also concerned, right? You want your government to do the right thing. They told you to pray, encourage them, wish them well, blah, 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 blah. But that is not working. And here we are, where your government, people sit inside their own different, air-conditioned rooms in Abuja to decide what is priority, what is not priority, who are the priority and who are not the priority on the scheme of things in a country like Nigeria. And this same mentality, this impunity, this whole thing, right, is the same contagion that has affected your security apparatuses too. They have placed priority on what they think is priority. You and I can condemn school kidnapping, school children being kidnapped, the killings, 60 people kidnapped in Kaduna, 150 people killed in Sokoto, more than 80 people killed in Zamfara, more than 500 communities captured by terrorists, and they've raised their flag. They are collecting taxes there in Niger. And all these stories, they may sound so unbelievable to you. How can, but when you look at the people who are supposed to really go after these terrorists, because you see all these casualties, they are human beings too, right? So the people who make the decision inside those cold rooms, those air-conditioned rooms in Abuja, who call themselves the decision makers, they know who are the priority. And in this regard, Boko Haram is not a priority. ISWAP is not a priority. Fulani terrorists, the fourth deadliest terrorist organization in the world, deadliest terrorist organization in the world, Fulani terrorists, they are not the priority of those who want to protect you. Yeah? But Nnamdi Kanu is a priority. IPOB is a priority. Sunday Adeyemo Igboho is a priority. Yoruba Nation campaigners are priority. If you group together and say you are banning open grazing, that is a security threat and it's a priority. If you set up your own security outfit as a region, as a government in every state, like they've done in southern Nigeria, that is a threat to them in northern Nigeria, and that is a priority, security priority. So everybody comes under surveillance, their surveillance, because when they meet, they have to discuss what is priority. You would expect them to make this northern Nigeria their priority, because that's the reason why they probably took, well, that was what we expected to be their reason for taking over power in Nigeria. But rather than for the northern Nigeria to at least breathe the fresh air of peace, it has been, you know what I'm talking about, endless bloodbath. In fact, it has quadrupled, if no more. So those who sit there to make that decision, the northern Nigeria or any other insecurity in Nigeria like that, they are not really priority. The only priority are those who stand up to ask Bukwari and APC, Egbekegbe, to do the right thing. By the way, I hope you have heard that Obi Kubana is still there with them in the EFCC. Do you know that? Okay. Some of you will begin to understand what is the priority of the Bukwari's government and why is it so difficult to have a country, I mean, like Nigeria right now, right? To have people who understand their differences, to have them come together and say, why can't we talk about these differences and peacefully part ways without any bloodshed? So every time you feel like Why is it so difficult? Then when you look at Boko Haram and gang, where in their own way, it is like Nigeria is their conquered territory with this absolute power they have. Some of you are going to come to that reality soon, because if you are an Igbo man or Igbo woman, in the scheme of things in Nigeria, there is no way, nothing you do that will make this rotten system accept you into their fold. I know many people who have been living in denial of that too, but look at it this way. IPOB that they have demonized enough. Yoruba Nation that they are now working so tirelessly to demonize terribly too. What they are asking for was prompted by the marginalization that is so visible in Nigeria. This treatment, this impunity they call it, where some Nigerians are more Nigerian than the others. This marginalization, this profiling, and until lately, when Boko Haram came in, this state-sponsored terrorism, they are reasons enough for people to say we need to renegotiate this union. And their demand is very straightforward. Let us put everything on the table. Let everybody say, okay, yeah, how do we then part ways? But they became the priority of those who have the weapons, who have the resources, who have the training, who have the, name it, to stop the insecurity in Nigeria. I mean, cut this terrorism to the barest and possibly take shines off agitation for we want to break away, we want our own country, we want our own, you know what I'm talking about? Something that a system gives that makes you feel like, even if I don't support the breakup of Nigeria, for the fact that Buhari does not make the terrorists and the government of Nigeria by their deed, by their action, they never made this terrorist a priority. Therefore, we cannot die until we are tired of being killed. And then we kick both the government as well as their terrorist hirelings out of the place. And we don't even know how long that's going to be. So even if you don't like Nigeria to break up, but with the fact that you have seen enough that this bloodbath, these killings, doesn't really bother them. Rather, they are even contributing to the more bloodshed, like the genocide they are carrying out in Eastern Nigeria today, using their media to hoodwink millions from other parts of the country. Which means they have no intention of stopping the terrorism. They want you to learn how to live with it. That's enough for you to say, even if I don't support the breakup of Nigeria, there is no solution in sight. It's going to get worse. And I mean, worse. And how long do you think we have? They prioritize those they considered as enemy of their own agenda. And that is why every time they walk into a school and they kidnap school children, just know this. It is because the government allowed it. Yes. 40,000 security men are currently in Anambra. 40,000. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 40,000 for election in Anambra. The total election, if they finally do the total genuine people that will come out and vote, all over Anambra. I bet they won't even be up to that 40,000. But don't worry, they will write their result, okay? You're going to see 600,000, 500,000, 800,000 for that one. And they will declare their winner. But security forces alone, over 40,000. So you think that is not deliberate? So Nigeria is at the mercy of the terrorists that they can do anything anywhere and get away with it. All you have to do is what? To negotiate. It has gotten so bad that when you go to every police station, this is not even northern Nigeria now, every police station in southern Nigeria, go there and report Fulani terrorists. Oh, some people with their cows, they are now on my farms, they've destroyed my farm. You will be arrested. Like this Adamawa farmer that fought with Fulani terrorist on his farm. They've sent him to life in prison or something. Sent him to death for defending himself on his own land. So that is to tell you how culpable the system, the government is. And it's just like a command. If you take any of these terrorists to any police station or any police post or what have you, don't push it. Because if you push it, after they release him, they will arrest you. Because their priority is all of you questioning those decisions. Even if more people are being killed, if more people are being kidnapped, if things are happening that are horrifying you, things that are making you feel like, what is this and all of that. But to the people in government who are actually there at the theater of the whole thing, I bet it. Their priority is how now the soldiers they sent to be Enugu to go and kill people, bomb properties. They are denying them today. Now here is the danger of that. Okay, the danger is this: if your government says terrorists with what they have done, they deserve to be pardoned, especially if they apologize and they repent. Thank you so much, Joshua Okpala, for your super sticker, by the way. So when your government feels like killing people, kidnapping children, raping them, selling them off as sex slaves, then come back later with children and everything, and then you see you've surrendered, that means everything is forgiven, then they are going to rehabilitate you, and they're going to be calling that girl your wife. A system that already paved way for that. No punishment, no nothing, and they even pride in it. They have released over 8,000 active Boko Haram Fulani terrorists because they repented. Over 8,000. How many soldiers makes a battalion, by the way? 400 or 300? I don't know. Help me. Those who have the military background. Now, tell me how many battalion of army are you going to find in 8,000 active soldiers? And they continue to slaughter the Nigerian military, the Nigerian soldiers, Nigerian military agents. They continue to slaughter them. But they are not their priority. These guys have the capacity to shoot down a fighter jet, government fighter jet. They shot. More than 5 of them have been shot down already. This year alone, they've shot down 2. But the Eastern Nigeria is their priority. Shure and revolution now is their priority. NSAS young people who are asking for good governance are their priority. Radio Biafra, IPOB, every other person, except themselves. Yet, they continue to set the country up for that total collapse and destruction. That when that happens, right, there will be no bargaining chip. There will be nothing. It will just be like yam, pepper, scatter, scatter. Everybody will just have to pick the crumbles for whatever comes out of it. They own the power. but they leverage on it. They leveraged on the insecurity that brought them to power. They now spread it all over the country as a general fear, which is a great tool to keep power in a lawless country like Nigeria. Dialogue doesn't sound anything right to them. It's about power. Power. Grab. I will teach you a lesson. I will wipe you off the map. I will, your parents didn't tell you the true story about what happened then. Maybe we will teach you that lesson. That kind of power, arrogance. Right? But they are friends. That's the issue. They are not alone. They have friends who can always explain this madness away. When I say friends, we have them in southern Nigeria. We have them in southern Nigeria, Yoruba land, Biafra land. So the danger there is that you and I, whether you support them, whether you don't support them, you are at the mercy of getting caught up in the consequences of this insecurity and those managing it. Maybe I should explain that. When terrorists knows that the worst case scenario, if they ever get caught, was that they're going to get amnesty. That you get killed, get kidnapped, that you paid ransom, those don't matter anymore. They've repented. And according to Malamu, international war law, something they made up there, because you no longer have any law in Nigeria. Whatever Malamu calls your law is now your law. According to them, they said, in the rule of war, that any soldier who submit the weapon, surrender the weapon, must be treated as prisoner of war, rehabilitated, and be given money, especially if he says he's sorry. That is the law they are using to free them in Nigeria. There's no law like that, but Malamu said that's your law, and that is it. Nobody has challenged it, ever. No court case challenging why is Nigeria freeing terrorists. There's no court case anywhere. That if they lay down their arms. But the war is still ongoing. Those they released have gone back to the war front again. They've committed worse and worse and worse. From the report we have received, many of them have been caught 2-3 times, and they have gone through that same repentance rehabilitation center with your money, trained with your money, paid with your money, and all of that. So it's like when they know they don't have any consequences, right? And then your government begin to gaslight people, begin to call them criminals. You know they are not criminals. But your government insists. Oh, you don't know what they are planning. What they are planning is very terrible. They are this and that. And you haven't really seen that. In order for you to believe that, we mean it, they are dangerous. They created this whole insecurity. Then they now declared a state of emergency in eastern Nigeria. In fact, let me tell you something, right? They've declared a state of emergency in the entire southern Nigeria. Just like the same way they operate. They operate just systematically in a way. By the time they are going to turn up that of the southwest, now all of us go see them and witness it too. The license to kill innocent people, the government can create it. And they created it. And that is exactly what we have in the eastern Nigeria today. So if you meet so many people in Lagos, you know what I mean? They are not really bothered about people getting kidnapped in Abuja, people getting killed, like, in Kaduna, or getting kidnapped. They're not really bothered. But ask them about, don't even ask them. They are more interested in what is going to happen in Anambra. And you'll be wondering. Don't be wondering. It is exactly what the system wants them to believe. IPOB is more dangerous than the people who could go into a university and kidnap children, go into colleges and kidnap school children, march them into the forest and rape them repeatedly, collect money on them, kill some of them, and then, they do it again and again and again. That is what the system wants them to believe. Look at them. They are burning their region. Look at all these IPOB people, because that is exactly what the system wants them to see. Now, when we got the video of the people who are burning people's properties, when we got the videos of people who are killing people in their homes, they ended up not being IPOB members. They ended up not being anybody from the, from any Biafra movement. They ended up being the Nigerian military, the Nigerian soldiers who are saying, to burn people's properties down. And in reaction, the Nigerian military quickly said they warn all their soldiers never to record videos, because the job they are supposed to go and do in Eastern Nigeria is to commit genocide, ethnic cleansing, right? So they had to issue a quick statement. Soldiers, don't record whenever you are killing all these people for us. Don't record them anymore. We don't want to see your faces. Continue to do your job. No punishment, no nothing. So what that simply means is that when they are busy doing all of that, you, myself, everybody who is trying to run their daily businesses, run your life normally, legally and all of that, you are at the mercy of those who can grab you, and you will have nobody to call. Nobody to call. No government to call. Maybe you will have your family members to call to pay the ransom, if you are lucky. That is the state of Nigeria now. Not just that. Things that got people really, really, really disconnected with everything Nigeria. These guys destroyed everything beyond what you can even imagine. I'm going to tell you some of them because I love reminding people. And one thing people don't like is that they like you to talk about the problem. They don't want you to mention the names of those who actually created the problems. But I love doing both. Talk about the problem. Talk about those who created the problem. Those who benefited from it. Majority of them are your pastors, your mentors, your lecturer, your this, your that, your fathers, your mothers, your uncles, your aunties, and here and there, friends. Because, and I think that is where some people really don't really find it comfortable with Maiyegun. Oh, Baba, yes, we know. Talk. Give us solution. Give us solution. Okay, the solution is that let's get all these guys and round them up and tie them up and just dump them in one room, and then forget about them. No, Maiyegun, you can't do that. You want to grab my uncle. Now my uncle, they pay my school fees. All those stuff. That's where people get this. That's where they disagree with Maiyegun. You shouldn't have called him Olushi now. He's an elderly person. I understand. That is where we begin to get disconnected. But I love doing both. I love doing it all. They came in, they told you that if you did not follow change, Nigeria will cease to exist. There will be no more Nigeria. Because your dollar will be gone, your naira will be gone. I'm sorry, I said your dollar. Your naira will be gone, your this will be gone, your that will be gone, and so many other things they told you. Maybe I am not saying it right, yeah? Let me show you this as a reminder. Then I'll bring you back to today. Yeah? and then we can then see what they have done to you. Enough for you to know that going into any election with them is like the validation of what you are used to. So far, no, they tire you. Yeah, this is what they told you back then, just before today.
This is their record. The exchange rate has moved from 120 to the dollar to 240 to the dollar. That is Jonathan's record. Jobs have been destroyed. Livelihoods have been destroyed. Over 1 million people have been displaced because of incompetent and corrupt security mismanagement. Meanwhile, during this period, oil prices have been at their all-time high. Trillions have been budgeted for security, but the only thing you see are mansions in Abuja owned by ministers of defense and generals. We know these houses, we know the owners. This is the record of the Jonathan administration in the last 6 years. That's why they don't want to talk about it. So what do they talk about? They move from church to church preaching religious division. They move from town to town preaching ethnic division. They have no record to run on. They take photographs of private estates and claim that the government built the estates. They take photographs of railway bullet trains from Port Harcourt and claim that it's federal government train system. They lie for a living. Do not believe anything they say. Even when they say good morning, check, it is probably evening. So do not be deceived. I am here before you as a father of young people like you because I have many children. We don't count our children. We count blessings. That I care about your future. We all care about your future because we have children too. And we want you to stand up and vote for change. On that day, you get your BBCs. Don't be intimidated by anyone in uniform. Remember, a few weeks ago, we needed to get the help of Chad and Niger to chase Boko Haram. So don't let them scare you. They should not scare you. Go out with your permanent voter's card and vote for the party and the candidates that will secure your future. That party is the ABC.
Fellow Nigerians, this is just the beginning.
You get that? So that was in 2015. Today, after wrecking by the way, somebody was asking that have I seen this? Oh, of course I've seen Tanko. You know, I say now the tailor with the make suits for Tanko technicality. Now that tailor I go to patronize now. Have you heard about that? Don't worry, we'll come back to Tanko technicality. They destroyed everything they met. The money they met in excess crude account, they depleted that from billions to a paltry $2 million. They borrowed from everything, everyone or anywhere, whoever they come across, they borrow from. And they are willing, they've always been willing, Emefiole, to devalue your naira, because every now and then, everything Bukwari touches is devalued. So devalue your naira. Businesses started folding up. People started losing their jobs. So when they came in, they met about 13.5 million people unemployed. Today, that number has grown to over 35 million officially. Why people said, listen, Maiyegun, you have more than 60% of Nigerians who have become jobless because of this Bukwari's destroyed economy. But they blame it on corruption and corruption. What they are not telling you is this. Their wastage, the life, the luxurious life that Bokwari and his family and the gang around him have come to realize that they could have, and they are having right now. This is a life that is very expensive. A life, most of it, that required your forex most of the time. You see, when your central bank gets a dollar allocation or forex allocations from all over the world for, exchange for whatever they are selling to them, they keep them in that safe in that central bank. Now, they have what they call the allocation to your banks too. These are meant to be like, a bit of disseminating, or let me say, distributing the available forex, especially for those who are going to trade in it, who are always in international trade and all of that. And they love us too. Those of us who are in the diaspora, we are the natural, organic forex generators. Do you get that now? Like, because we earn our money in dollars, in pounds, and all this money that are far gianter than than your naira. So we are the natural, the organic forex mobilizers for Nigeria. A year, we send back what has now become famous annually, over $30 billion remitted back to Nigeria for different things. And as Nigeria goes further into poverty, the more we remit back into Nigeria increases. And they have said it, right? By the end of 2025, Nigerians alone will be remitting more than over $50 billion to Nigeria annually. Maybe they have seen that Nigeria is going to be poorer and poorer and poorer. You know where this money goes to? This money goes into paying for school fees, hospital bills, house rent, this, that. Things that as Nigeria become harder and tougher are now becoming luxury to people. Ordinary things are becoming more luxurious to people these days. So we are the natural forex giver. Okay? So, Emefiole became disappointed when they heard that this old money we sent to Nigeria, they actually don't go through the central bank system, because, as the central bank, after they have depleted, after the petrol, the crude oil they are selling, after that couldn't give them any real forex anymore. They just tell you the figures. When it is time for NNPC to give you the money of the oil they sold, they will have nothing to give. Last, nothing to give. Emefiole will quickly run into the central bank and print money for them to balance it up to something they call Bomila Shiri. Emefiole, after they have destroyed the economy, did all of that, and the naira is now worthless, they ban cryptocurrency because they are like, they couldn't control. They have no idea. Everything, they know that money is in that system. Some of you, some of us, so we have some of these agents, who actually make some of our transfers for us. So they don't go through the normal bank this. So what we do is that we just give the forex to these agents, and they just give us the naira to whoever we want to give the money to in Nigeria. No trouble, Asules and all of that. But the Central Bank of Nigeria, the biggest economy they claim in Africa, they've run out of a forex. So Emefiole, after 6 years of fraudulent back and forth economic somersaulting, after 2 or 3 recessions, they now came up with one idea. They said, we found out that people are hiding their money in cryptocurrencies. Some of these people are keeping their money in dollars. And when you keep your money in dollars, domiciliary account, you are supposed to have that dollar equivalent with your central bank. Let me put it this way. If you have a domiciliary account now, domiciliary account means your dollar account or your pound sterling account. I don't know if it's only dollars in Nigeria, but that your forex account, whatever you have in that account, the equivalent of that should be with your bank. You will believe, right? And your bank, GTB, Access, or whatever name they give to themselves, right? They also, believe that that money, if it's not in their vault in Lagos or their branch where you have the bank account, yeah, that money should be with the central bank. Emefiole, they have depleted. Bokwari and gang, they have depleted everything about your central bank. Korofo na pangolo did. So Emefiole, they can print naira, but they can't print dollars. So the now was like, oh, we are going to ban cryptocurrency. As everybody was seeing that naira continued to crash and crash, smart people, they started converting their naira to dollars, put it in domiciliary account. Emefiole came and they said, if you have domiciliary account and you have dollars there, they are going to give you the central bank exchange for naira. If you have $1,000 there, instead of you to get probably 500 and something thousand naira, Emefiole will take your $1,000 in your account and it will give you 300,000 naira. I don't know if many of you heard of that just in the last couple of weeks. That is part of the economy way of stealing, whatever they can take. They said cryptocurrencies, they banned cryptocurrencies, they banned cryptocurrencies in Nigeria because they cannot, they said it's untraceable. They cannot see it and they can use it for terrorism. Emefiole, when they banned cryptocurrency, they now brought something they called INERA. INERA is their other way of targeting the diasporans and then deceiving the 200 million mumus in Nigeria by telling them that, listen, this is our own. This is Nigeria, INERA. And they actually call it Naira, by the way. And they call it Naira. Even Bokwari was asking him, waiting be this. Now open board with this, no extra. Waiting be INERA. Baba, no worry. Na Genje. Emefiole know what he's doing. And I'll tell you about it. They destroyed your economy, destroyed your job, destroyed everything. And they also managed to wreck you and dip you in debt. When they came in, right? They said the Nigerian debt was put at 7 trillion. Today, Nigerian debt is now put at over 39 trillion naira. Now, that means Bokwari and gang have borrowed more than 3 trillion. It's not just Bokwari, by the way, including those with the governors that all those thieving criminals you call governors in Nigeria too. Everybody is borrowing because that is the only way they can sustain the lifestyle they have. Emefiole now brought something and they call it INERA. And they say, Shena, this thing will go present to Nigerians like this. Nothing day here and a whiteboard and you put INERA there. Wait till we go tell people, Baba, don't worry. They no feel no. They no feel no. Now, Emefiole, what they call INERA is that, you know, all of you who rushed to go and download the app. Once you have the app on, normally when you have digital currencies, right? They call INERA digital currency. There must be something behind it which gives it value. So if you have $1 and you decide to buy, let's see, and you decide to buy naira, I don't even know how to compare naira with it. I don't want to use naira. Let's say you have $100 and you have a naira app. If to say na cryptocurrency you want to buy, they may tell you, I'm just using an example here, not the actual value. From your $100, they may tell you that the value of this coin, they have so many of them, okay? This coin, the value of it is $10. So if you have $100, that means you have a 10 of that value. So tomorrow, they may tell you that that same coin that you got for $10 is now worth, one of them is now worth $1,000. You got it for $10. So you got 10. You got 10 with your $100. In 3-4 months, they may tell you that that one coin is 1,000. That means your $100 has become $10,000. That's how they know the value of this. People don't know what is behind them. Do you get that now? Some will give you an idea. Oh, Baba, let me teach you cryptocurrency. Maiyegun, there is something behind. We use trade with. I understand. Me, I not be expert. So I don't want to confuse people. I am using my layman explanation here for you to know that when Emefiele brought a naira, there is nothing behind it. 1 naira is still 1 naira. So if you have $100 and you buy $100 worth of naira, Emefiele Bank will say that we change that your $100 on the naira app. It will change to maybe 350,000 naira. So it's like exchange, something you can do on any app. Yeah. But if you are smart, you will know that your $1,000, let's use $1,000 now. Your $1,000 that should give you something about 560,000 naira. If you take your money through normal way where you send your money, it is not your fault that they destroyed the naira, but they need your dollar, they need your pound sterling to build something so that they can say, look at it. We have over 10 million people all over the world. All their pound sterling, all their money, all their this, all their that. Whenever they need naira, whatever exchange rate we give it to them. So they may wake tomorrow and say, you know what? What happened is that the last time you put your dollars there, when we were when we are changing the naira for you, Emefiele, nothing to back it to. Not that because they have suddenly built electricity, not because they have suddenly paid off their debt and the economy is booming. No. Emefiele can wake up tomorrow. When you check the exchange rate this night, it says 345,000. If you put 1,000, Emefiele can wake up tomorrow and say, no. You know what? Change that value on that app. Change it to 195 naira to $1. If you are lucky, say you still get some money there to take your dollar out, you go rush. And that is why they said they are not to be blamed. If you put your money there and you see the exchange rate and you say, oh boy, and you won't take the money out, story begin. Nigeria happened to your money. No blame them. It's not them. Now you know no reason and well. Because there's nothing to back the naira. It is just like a exchange rate app. Something Google can do. You go on Google now, yeah? And you say $1,000 to naira. Google will convert it for you. If you call your African shop and you say, hello, Mama Embassy. That's the person I love in Glasgow. Yeah, embassy, African embassy in Glasgow. Mama Embassy, I call her Iyalaje. Iyalaje, how much is your exchange rate today? Maiyegun, 790 naira. Okay. So tell me, how much is it going to be if you want to do this? Okay, I'll get back to you, Maiyegun. I mean, come on. Is that not what we do? How could you not see that? But you see, every time you download that app as a patriotic light, which is all right, it's your money. Do what you like with it. But like I said, it is not e-naira. It is e-naira. E-naira Nigeria is what prompted them to bring out that scheme. And many of you are going to fall into that trap. You're already in it. Some of you already, I don't know if you're already, are you trading? Emefiele now said, you can use e-naira to trade with other currencies. That's a fraud. That's a lie. E-naira is just exchange app. Okay, some said you can. Yeah. So what you have to know is that you need to have a lot of that naira in there before you can buy any coin that is that coin is out there. But I am saying this not because I can save you from not doing it anyway. Because some of you, even though you left Nigeria, Nigeria did not leave you. And you are the real targets. And I say, good luck. Good luck with that. priority. Remember? They are still doing the same thing, expecting a different result. And what do I mean by that? They continue to borrow to feed their expensive lifestyles. For 6 years, Bokwari and gang, they have budgeted and spent over 18 billion naira on Asshole Rock Clinic. Many of you have been hearing that anyway. 5 billion, 3.8 billion, Asshole Rock Clinic, Asshole Rock Kitchen, Asshole Rock table tennis, Bokwari's pole, Ikene Shatabandu's apron as a cleaner, and every other thing they put together. Billions. Money they don't have for the life they can't afford. Over the people that are suffering enough and smiling too. Unfortunately. Yeah. They want to spend over 52 billion naira to make Bokwari and gang comfortable. They want to spend 21 billion of that money to build a 14-bed clinic with 21 billion naira. Come on, man. It is deliberate. They don't care. We can talk and talk, they don't care. But the money will come from those who will borrow them the money and tell them to go and devalue your naira. Every time they devalue your naira, and you go out there and you say, hey, a gas, 10 kg. How much do you buy? 25 kg of gas. It's now 10,000 naira. Hey, way. I say, naira don't crash again. No, wala don't come. You say, Baba, forget it. You're waiting concern dollar. Now naira with the spend. Then you go to the market. They say 3 tomatoes. They say 3 tomatoes are 1,000 naira. You're like, hey, some people were telling me, they said, Maiyegun, these days, if you see people coming back from the market, they are always angry. If you see people that are coming from market, they come from market these days with kind of frown face, women. And you know, women love cooking enough that if they want to take care of the family and they have to go out there and then do all the purchasing and all of that, I mean, when they really do, because, you know, and they realize that, oh boy, the money I brought to market today, Chineke, they won't smile. Somebody told me that. So every time your politician says, no, they mind them. Every time they will be shouting dollar. Are you spending dollar? Of course you are not spending dollars. Your politicians are spending the dollars. For them to access that dollar, they need to devalue your naira. When they say devalue, it simply means before they borrow them money, since you don't have anything to give, they cannot give you that money at the rate you want to sell your naira to them. For example, somebody wants to borrow you $100 million now. You can't go there and say, I'm going to take each dollar for 200 naira. You decrease. They will be the one to tell you how much they are going to give it to you for. And when they say go and devalue your currency, it's because they have businesses in that country that will be transacting businesses, and they will need to be using that same dollars to transact business with you. And they can't be exchanging, which kind of insult? Giant for nothing. Crippled giant of Africa. You can't give conditions. They give conditions for patrimony that some of them are stealing from you, willfully. No consequence or consequences. That's what they do. And when they say devalue, ask those who are struggling to keep your country running to still make sure that you have access to every normal supply, all your supplies, from milk to water to food to petrol to all the things that you need every day to run your life. Those who are still doing everything within this draconian, chronic capitalist system. Those who are still struggling to make things happen for you. When they finally bring those finished stuff to you, you will scream, how can you say, are we importing Gary? We are not importing Gary now. Why are you selling Gary for Gary that we grow, Gary that we can grow at the back, our backyard? Forgetting the fact that the woman that is going to come and sell you the Gary, she has to also deal with somebody who will drive the Gary from the farm to the factory. That man that is the driver, driving all these women from their farms, he has his own family too, his own children. He will also need to buy food. He will need to feed them. He will need to clothe them. He will need to house them. Mama Onigari that they are helping to bring a Gary to the market for you to buy. Mama Onigari will need to pay him very well if Mama Onigari wants to come tomorrow. What about those who actually made the Gary possible? They also have families too. And they are going to buy from the same market you are going to buy from, even though you are working in a bank, you are working in that big office, or you are working just in your own small shop too. Everybody will give something, will make the whole thing just like that, like a pyramid thing. The whole thing is like that, top to bottom. That's economy. That's the way I understand economic or economics. So if they tell you you don't spend dollars, don't listen to Maiyegun, all these people talking about dollar rising. They are not telling you the truth. Your government said they spent 2 trillion naira in a year paying those who are bringing petrol for you. But for that 6 years, that 2 trillion naira can build you at least 2 refineries that can cut down anything enough to free your money so that they can put that money behind something that can strengthen your naira. So when you don't have anything to back your naira, the lender will have to be the ones that will give you the conditions. I remember when somebody said, Maiyegun, you need we want you to be specific about borrowing and the lending. Borrow is borrow. Borrower is borrower. Borrowing is borrowing. I'm talking to people who actually know what I'm talking about. Those who come here to give us this grammatical, whatever nonsense, yeah? They are part of those who brought us here. You don't understand economics. The way economics work is we have hyper, imper. Bokoari wants to go and borrow money. You need something to say, this is what I have. Then the person will look at what you have and say, I want this in heavy. Okay, I go give you the money, or you go give me this percentage. Come down. If you don't, you see what I have, I'll go take them to another place. So now we will negotiate. But Nigeria don't get anything to negotiate with. Borrow. My ego don't use borrow. Borrow is a wrong reality daru. So for me, learn constant now. Tori mi o mo nkan tó ń jẹ́ borrowing, mi ò dẹ̀ mẹ́ni tó ń jẹ́ borrower. Tori mi ò lo lender, mi ò lo loaner. That's that's what makes that kind of Emefiole to be your number one economist in Nigeria. Number one economist in Nigeria. Central bank governor. Emefiole. No joke. Somebody came to me and they was like, Maiyegun, I enjoy your you are this as a baba koshi. I'm me need the patronage. They pretend say you don't know what's how they talk. Somebody like you, Maiyegun, should not be using borrowing in your titles. You watch a video for 2 hours, you came back and you said, Maiyegun, we want you to always, because a lot of people listen to you. You cannot be using you know what I mean? The other people are like, Maiyegun, no answer. No answer, we go answer him. Those of us where you see we look like baby out to you, that we don't know borrowing from a loan. Let me see they beg them, say, leave on. No, leave on. They go borrowing. That's what they do. They go borrowing money. And those they are borrowing from will give them conditions. When they give them conditions, right? They have no choice but to follow it. And every time they accept those conditions, is every time you will feel it and say, I took 15,000 naira to the market yesterday. Now small poly bag like this, I take carry the food come out. I say, what's happened? Then steal them from you. They don't steal them. We have to buy small 15,000. Oh dear. It is the decision of these criminals. And when they get the money from where they are borrowing the money from, they use them on this nonsense. They don't have plan of paying back. Bukwari borrowing money that they said will be repaid back in 40 years, 35 years. Bukwari is 89. If you add 35 years to Bukwari's age, that's 124 years. She Bukwari is going to be 124 years. Are you going to go there and drag him? To this day, they have managed to make every Nigerian a debtor. If they begin to divide the base of Nigeria, me will sit down here because I still get the green passport, by the way. I still get them. All of you will get green passports. When they come Facebook, they say, we'll be base a day. It's a day. If they catch our passport number. As a day na 467,000 at the whole. All of you will watch me. If you get your green passport, blue passport, red passport, and every other thing where you get replacement, you see, you'll be unique base every time you use that. If you use that green passport, no go China. Well, I'm just saying, Sha, maybe not now. In 10 years' time, don't go to China. Some of you now from plane, I could just say, Mr. Adekunle Adejola, this way. Say, no, I'm going back to New York. No, you are not going back to New York. You are a collateral from the loan that Nigeria borrowed 18 years ago. And that loan has accumulated right now. Every Nigerian that crossed this year space, they are owing China 2 million naira. So if I pay you the 2 million naira now, will you let me go? Absolutely. If you pay it here now in this airport. If you don't pay it, you are going to the concentration camp. There are others there. There are many people there, Nigerians. So if you get your green passport, if you get your red passport, if you get your blue, if you get your yellow, if you get your white, anything where you get apart from green passport, Baba, keep on well. As I sit down here now like this, as you are watching me, some of you still saying, help me with 5,000, help me with, all of you begging 5,000, 10,000. If they hold you, that's what, and you don't know, they still have another a year and a half to go, which simply means by the time they are done with all of you, including me, we not live for Nigeria for years now. So they borrow the money. They don't really use it on the things they want to use it for. You know, if you borrow money, right? If you go out there and you borrow money, right? Then at least use it on that same thing so that probably it can yield and pay off the loan. That's what it should be. UniAbuja Railway with the Pangolo locomotive train they put on it. The special criminals, they have been able to bomb that. So they've tested it. And they know that they can bomb it anytime. Look at the inside of that train. The one they said that it was a mechanical fault. It's not a mechanical fault. Oh. This is that Abuja train that they shot at after they tried to stop it, to hijack it. But it failed. Because it failed, the Nigerian government said it's just was a mechanical nonsense, you know. That railway should be paying back the loan that they borrow from China and everywhere. The one from Lagos Ibadan railway now, that too should be paying back the loan. But with the insecurity you have now, last Nigeria won't pay. And all of you, where they don't go China, don't try to, if they tell you, say they go Singapore, and they say part of that, they go past China. No go. Just tell them in 10 years' time, tell your children, I want to go and study in China. If they are going to concentration camp from the base in Nigeria. Now, they said China just gave them another 60 truck. Armored personnel carrier, Now, if they use those armored tanks, right? If they use them on terrorists, if they cut down the terrorists and people are able to go back to their homes, people are able to begin to work. That means they'll begin to pay taxes. Government will begin to make more money. Economy will begin to come back to life, and they can pay back the loan. But they got weapons from China. They send them they didn't send them to Niger. They didn't send them to Zamfara. They didn't send them to Katsina, where Boko Haram comes from. They didn't send them to Kaduna. Not to Adamawa, Borno. No. They are keeping some of them somewhere now for the Boko Haram to come and get them. The remaining ones, they have sent them to Eastern Nigeria looking for IPOB. So the terrorists are growing, kidnapping, making more money and more money. China go the express, say, you pay back. Now, you won't pay. Boko Haram has no intention of paying. He's already begging people for forgiveness. Please forgive us, Please forgive us. Debt forgiveness, so the way that is still borrowing, is begging people to forgive them. And that's what they do. Waste it. Promise you heaven and earth. They want to spend 12 billion to maintain presidential jets in 2022. 12 billion. Good luck. Egbere Jolantan was spending 1.8, 1.9 billion in 2014, 2015. We said, are. We didn't know that the Olori Mafia, Agbewiri, Boko Haram and gang are coming. When they started their own, they started from 3 billion, 4 billion, 5 billion, 5.5, 6 billion, 7 billion. Now, 12 billion to maintain presidential jet in 2022. And they are going to borrow the money. They are not borrowing the money to improve electricity. They're not borrowing the money to improve infrastructure. No. And it's a shame. When they now loot all this money, to launder the money back to where they borrow it from, they invest it in real estate, hotel business. They invest them everywhere that will look like it is clean. It's not clean. Do you think when they steal your money, they just put them in a bag and load them on the plane and they just fly away to go and save the money somewhere? Of course not. Come on. Money laundering if you look at the Lagos real estate business, you will realize that these things are unreal. You will see ridiculous prices on houses that you'll be like, what the heck? Is this? I don't know why, but they get away with it, including ridiculous substandard constructions. It's a big scam market because it is controlled, especially that of Lagos. So it is controlled by the same Lagos mafias. But they are burning themselves. So they don't pick anyone randomly. Somebody said that guy don't they build us for South Africa. He don't they build us for London. He don't they like, shut up, Jerry. Tinubu no live for London. Did they not tell you that Bobo Chicago was a former director in Shena Shell, Abina Mobile, Abi where they tell you say Tinubu work. Somebody will be director for Shell, director for this and that, but is a convicted drug runner in Chicago. But in Nigeria, he's a former mobile director. That's Tinubu, former mobile director. I mean, former finance director, blah, 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 in this and that. But in the same America, he's a convicted drug runner. I'm not making it up, it's out there. That's why they call him Bobo Chicago. Well, because I'm saying this right now, some people right there will be like, they're supposed to slap this boy. Come and slap me now. And you see, one thing about them in Nigeria is that not everyone really cares when they know that you are actually part of the rotten system that is called Nigeria. They don't care. If you're generous enough, which they all are. They are very generous. They give money, they attend parties, they organize parties, they donate money to churches, they go to mosques, they rebuild mosques for them, they attend this and that, things that makes them feel like, they are part of them. So when you talk about them, the same mumus who are the victims, the blind mumus who are the victims of their fraud, money laundering within a system they created themselves. What happened to the low-cost housing estate they promised you in Lagos State, in Yoruba land? Yorubas deserve to live in better houses. The people deserve to live in cheaper, better houses, befitting houses. They won't build that. But in order to launder all their money, they pick those in different businesses where they want to claim their money. Real estate in Lagos State is one of them. Ridiculous prices for worthless properties. You go to Lagos, you see properties in that they are Ikoyi, houses built on a sand-filled drainages, gullies, sand-filled creeks, and you'll be hearing that house there now 1.6 billion. That house there now 1.3 million, a billion. That one there. And you then look around the whole world and you see these lovely, lovely areas and these very, very fancy places all over the world. And you compare the price and you see that Lagos, you're like, this is a scam they want to put on paper because that's how they launder their money. That house they said fell in Lagos. They have told us that if we dig further, we are going to see the hand of Ikene Shatabandu, fake Pastor Ruga, Agbowori Babaoja. The man seems to have invested his own money in that block of flats too. You will see the hand of the Ekute Bodilon, Tifnumbu, the Jaga bandit, the Jaga Were, the Jaga addict, the Asiwaju Awon Agbero, Asiwaju Awon Ole of Lagos. You will see the hand of Fashola himself. Every one of them who has managed to dip their hands in the till of Lagos, they all have that, they are part of that investment, guys. That's a building they wanted to sell an apartment for $1.2 million in Lagos. It was meant to be a big thing. They gave an approval that the person should build a 15-story building. 15. They are building 15-story building in a gully. And the guy is a house builder. So everybody, they are already celebrating, like it's already a celebrity center. You know what? Once they have made it, as they have made it so loud, you see, it will be easier then to just say, oh, we made 5-point-something billion from this. So whatever money they have stolen from you, from Lagos, from everywhere, they can claim that money through that company. Look at that investment. It's a very huge one. But it was a substandard one. Nothing fake really lasts. And we feel so sorry for those who lost their lives in that place because 15-story building was what they approved for him. But because they have the power and he was feeling so good, it was like everybody want to live there. People, they go there, they take pictures. Politicians, celebrities, and so many other people who move money for politicians, they are sending their proxies there to go and look at the place. Once they finish it, we're just going to pretend to buy this, okay? That is how we're going to get our whole money out of Nigeria. You know what? Once you buy it, the company takes the money, and then the company helps you find somebody to sell it, or if they don't sell it, just leave it there. They can help us move the rest of the money to our offshore accounts. Money laundering. Substandard material. Somebody actually captured this when that happened. Now, let me tell you something. The fourth. Apart from the fact that some of you live in denial, and it's okay, very okay. If living in denial makes you feel comfortable, fine. I don't judge. I don't like to judge people, okay? But I like to tell people the truth. Living in denial will not make something that you know is happening to go away. It won't go away. I keep telling you. Lagos, that they always use as an example of what Nigeria should be, or what leadership should be. It's a serious mess that some of you living in this denial will possibly, maybe, one day come to term and stop living in that false reality. Lagos State is a mega slum. I said that with all sense of honesty. It's been almost 2 days now that the house collapsed in Lagos. Corruption is one of the reasons why that building collapsed. Corruption. Now, still on corruption, that is why some of the victims have never been rescued. And some of them died. They're going to carry them out of that building dead. A state they called mega city with no, with no timely response and evacuation team. When a house collapses, you would probably expect that in an area like Lagos, it won't take long before they move in machinery. Lagos now, come on. To move in machinery that would dig people out of the rumble. But since house done they collapse for Lagos, now people they use hand, they dig people out. Now those who are lucky made it out alive, and they continue to do Thanksgiving afterward, because after that nobody hear anything about them anymore. People will be using hands, their bare hands, to dig out. This was like an hour after the house collapsed. And they said the developer was in the house. It hasn't been confirmed yet. A lot of things going on. And again, we sympathize with the victims, and we pray that their families, you would have the fortitude to really bear that loss. It's sudden, it's surprising, but it's preventable. Only if those who are responsible for such did their job. But again, because it is politics, right? I'm coming back.
Being the pillar, and this phone, see pillar. Almost 1 hour this thing happen now. No escalator, nothing. And they are saying they are in traffic. There are many mopo inside this building. The supervisor, the engineer, they are also there. Both the escorts, all inside this building.
This was like an hour after it happened. That's Lagos. That place, those buildings, they are supposed to be selling each flat, each apartment for $1.2 million. How much is $1 million, guys? How much is $1 million? That should be, if you use my own agent, you will get 544 million naira. Yeah, you get that up to that. And people were there, including supervisor and the rest of them, trapped. They said at least there should be more than 60 people in that structure, inside that structure when it collapsed. A guy even jumped. There's a guy, Ayodeji Oyewole. Thank you, by the way, for your super sticker as well. Thank you. A young man jumped, but they rescued this one last night. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, bring him out.
Head up.
Hello, move away from there, okay? Hello, move away. My friend, move away from there. Just let him lie flat. That's okay. Any kid you go? Show the color I'm in. For now, don't worry.
So Sunday escaped and survived that day. And today they said that the numbers of dead people from that site has now increased to 22 in this country, right? First, they will initiate an immediate investigation into that. Into that. Also, investigative journalists will begin to say, who are those, the financiers, the investors? And that's where you're going to see where those who are stealing your money, how they became pars. And that can always go through any front. That man in a big busy rich man is this and that. Baba, keep that to yourself. Didn't many of you said Chief Numbu was a former director or former this and that in Mobile? But yet the court document in Chicago shows us that he is actually a former drug baron, a convicted one who made a deal to forfeit all his properties and everything. The proceeds of crime. Document in Chicago shows that. Not me. Before you stone me, I'm just trying to tell you the truth. So this is what they do. And by the way, they've told us today that Obi Kubana is still with the EFCC. Some of you said they will have nothing to do to him. Of course, they will have nothing to do to him. It's just going to be probably party of a thing. Maybe. Or maybe not. But when you bring everything down to how does this affect me? How does this affect you? No. Maybe you should first question, why do you still think Nigeria can be saved enough that you still disagree with those who are asking for the referendum? Maybe that's where we should start from. How does all of this concerns you? A lot of ways, yeah. But the first thing you should ask yourself is, why do you still feel like breaking up of Nigeria or having a conversation around that is wrong? If you get the answer, you probably get to know if all I've said so far by any chance affects you or not. The IPOB, by the way, this is just an announcement, okay? They have said that they are going to sit at home from Friday, I think. Friday, 5 days sit at home. If they don't release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu before the Anambra election, they are likely not going to do that, right? So which means they have chosen the peaceful way to send out their message. They are not voting. They are staying at home. If anything happens within this period, right, they are going to tell you to blame them. Of course, they're going to tell you to blame them. But don't forget the fact that they have distanced themselves from your election. They have distanced themselves. And if you respect that, and you don't want to be like your government, if you respect that, it will be easier for you to pay attention to those who really want to commit the crime, those who really want to kill people, those who really want to cause problem in Anambra. If you don't focus your attention on IPOB, they want you to focus on. They've distanced themselves from it. They said they are not part of it. They are never going to be part of it. But your government is saying, if anything goes wrong in Anambra, it is IPOB. And you want to believe that. Maybe if you take that second to listen to them and say, we are not part of it. We're not going to be part of it. We don't want to. There's no election. To us, there's no election. We're not going to be part of it. And then you can be able to see those who are saying, no, don't believe them. Don't believe them. They are going to cause trouble. They are going to cause trouble. They are going to be blamed for it. Like I said, before you sympathize with Nigeria, or before you even consider what I've said so far, ask yourself, why do you still feel that Nigeria can be saved or rescued with these guys and the consequences of what they have done to us? Dialogue should have been the word, not war. Referendum is not war. Dialogue, conversation around it, keep people safe. And the government have the capacity to get many of you to be disengaged from anything Yoruba nation, anything Biafra, by doing the right thing. Things that will make it a little bit convincing that Nigeria can be saved. But what is it there now that makes you think Nigeria can be saved? I've just told you the future. Now continue to remind you. The characters who have done this, they will do worse. And they're still going to do worse. And I hope you actually get to or reach your own reality soon enough. I don't trust these criminals. I don't believe them. They don't motivate me. Don't see them as anything other than criminals that they are. And I hope you get to that point too. And you will join us to ask them and say, referendum is not war. If you want to save Nigeria, break it up. If you want to save the people, break it up. Peaceful negotiation and conversation around this should not warrant anyone or any government rolling out a tank, burning people's properties, burning people alive, kidnapping and arresting people en masse. Those things don't get people tired. It radicalizes them. Dialogue, not war, is what they ask for. The people protecting terrorists, yeah, and then jailing activists, they are not asking for peace. They want war. We don't want war. We want peace. But they say, if you want peace, you have to prepare for war. I'm going to draw the curtains here. My friends on YouTube, before you go, tap that like button. If you don't like what I've said so far, tap that thumb down button, okay? And to my friends on Facebook, trust me, some of you have been seeing recently that Facebook will just say, we are removing any abusive comments. No joke. If you have a chance of, if you have had a chance of commenting on my Facebook broadcast, well done. Go on to, if you don't have a Gmail account, it is like opening any email account. Go and open Gmail account. When you open Gmail, you have an email, and you can go on to YouTube and you can subscribe to Maiyegun's Diary Politico. You can set your notification on, and when Facebook will not let you comment, you to be superb. Try it. I'll see you some other time. To everybody there out there, again, if you're just joining us, you can watch this from the beginning again. And if you started with me from the beginning, I'm going to see you again tomorrow. Until then, stay safe and good night.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ra kì í